You're such an asshole.
Hello, children. All right, let's get to it. Hi, Cap. I'm ready to share a deeper insight into my personal struggles and family dynamics, particularly concerning financial matters. This is a curveball. This is the most curveballiest of curveball emails I've ever gotten. I'm currently facing significant personal challenges, including severe anxiety, social anxiety, PTSD, and depression. My coping mechanisms largely involve staying indoors, engaging in video games, junk food, and pornography. Despite being on medications like antidepressants and Xanax, their effect is quite limited, providing only slight relief. My ideal life would be living like a NEET. Well, you are. Don't worry, there's more. My aversion to working is counterbalanced by a strong sense of duty towards my parents, especially my father. I am naturally reclusive, preferring solitude and rarely leaving the house unless absolutely necessary. This preference for privacy and isolation has been a constant throughout my life. I'm a 28-year-old virgin who has no friends his entire life and bullied all throughout school. Financially, my parents' situation is a source of considerable stress for me. This is because my parents are the only thing that I have in this life that I love. My father, a significantly older guy who works in finance, earns around $80,000 per year, but lives a lifestyle that stretches his income. He focuses on materialistic pursuits such as a McMansion, expensive vehicles like a Ford Lightning. What the hell is that? Leading to a paycheck-to-paycheck existence with substantial debt. Well, and also don't forget he didn't raise you either. I find it odd that you're responsible for your own situation ultimately, but I'm guessing he didn't invest any time in raising you. Like it was more important he had the things and the toys and the stuff. His retirement plans are ambitious, aiming to maintain this lifestyle, which causes him and in turn me a great deal of anxiety. To outline the financial specifics, my father has approximately $220,000 in his 401k. It's not bad. I mean, it's not great, but it's not bad. I mean, he's like every other boomer. He's going to have to work until probably 70, 75. He's expecting $1,000 monthly pension upon retirement. Okay, he gets a pension. He plans to work another 6 years, primarily from his home. My mother, who's disabled, receives government support because, of course, she did. What disability? What's her like? Is she actually disabled? Or is she like, oh my goodness, this is so sad. Oh, government, give me money, and I got the money, and I'm still sad. I don't know. Maybe I just need more government money. My grandfather's estate is worth about $2 million. He will eventually leave my father with an inheritance of around $1 million before taxes. Over the last 8 years, I've diligently worked 50, 60 hours a week and managed to save $300,000. See, that's the curveball. Like you want, so I get what you're saying. You want to live the life of a NEET, but you can't. But you kind of are 95% of it, minus the job. Minus your tremendous and commendable work ethic, aren't you living the life of a NEET? You live at home, you just do drugs, legal or not. I mean, I guess neither employed in education or training, so that's not you. You can't join the class of the NEETs. But speaking from a family perspective, your grandfather, the real risk, I'll tell you now, is your dad's going to piss away the inheritance he gets from your grandfather. Because your dad is a materialist. And that's not going to change. Grandfather estate $2 million eventually, even my father inheritance around $1 million before tax. Why $1 million? Why? Oh, maybe you got your dad. The inheritance would be split, so he's only going to get half of that. Over the last 8 years, I've diligent work, have $300,000 primarily through investing in VTI, whatever that is. I did this by working at a retailer making $15 an hour. I have no desire to increase my income and get a skill or a trade because that's way too difficult. I enjoy how simple and easy it is at this retailer. To get to this figure, I damn near saved everything because I don't do anything. Yeah, you threw it into, what is VTI? Is that like an index fund? Vanguard Total Stock. Okay, yeah, so you threw it into an index fund. There you go. That's the old school class. You could keep doing, dude. You are in your 20s and you have 300,000 saved up. If you just throw that into your 401k and just let it compound over time, you should have enough to retire. So your finances should be taken care of. Also, if you keep living at home and your dad keeps on working, you're not going to be paying rent anytime soon. And then your grandfather's going to die. And assuming your dad doesn't piss away his inheritance, you might get some of that as well. So financially speaking, you're doing quite well. Yeah, you're the weirdest need I've ever met. So you're doing fine here. The big thing is that, like every young person with shitty parents, uh, they're going to squander all the money they get, and they're going to need you to help them out. And then you're going to be emotional. I also could tell you're a weak man because okay, oh my god, I just don't like work. Oh. So you're not going to tell your dad no, and then you're essentially going to enslave yourself to your parents or your dad. Yeah, and then my concern for you is that all your investing and saving and hard work will be squandered by the time your dad dies, and you will have nothing to show for it, and then you're gonna really have to get a real job then. Um, Despite this effort, I feel uncertain about the future and how to best support my parents, particularly in light of my father's retirement goals and lifestyle aspirations. And I asked you, and you didn't follow instructions, and that's fine, and I'm not gonna hunt you for it. Uh, I said, so why are your parents your responsibility? And you said, done. Thanks for looking towards the video. Okay. We'll just skip that part. I'm going to tell you once, your parents are not your responsibility. Most Gen X, baby boomer parents, and certainly the millennials going forward are horrible people. They're horrible parents in the United States and the West in general. I don't know about other countries. They love themselves and their laziness and sloth more than anything else. But then again, so do you. You don't want to, and I get it, you don't have any children, so it's fine. You can live your life how you want. So it's not unethical. And your parents obviously didn't train you right. They didn't invest in you because you wouldn't be in this situation with no life. Now, I don't know where the work ethic came from, but congratulations, that's good. But most parents don't save for their retirement, and that's not the children's responsibility. So you just have to tell them no. Parents today get Social Security off the backs of younger people. Parents are the parents. They are the adults. They are to save money and make it so that they don't have to enslave their children. And if I've told them, I'm like, I'll leave you in a ditch. I will leave you in a fucking ditch because I'm not paying. I'm not paying for myself and my parents. It just ain't going to happen. And so it stresses you out. Shouldn't stress you out. You just say, I'm not helping you retire. Now you live at home, though. I think you live at home. So they might have an argument. They're like, well, we let you live here forever. But the point in time is you're going to have to say, Dad, you're going to get your spending in order. And you're going to start saving up for money, which I don't know how you do that to a nearly 60-year-old man whose entire life, his entire value system has been materials and things. Does he know about the 300,000? Can you shut up and not tell him about that? Please don't tell me you told him you have that money. I would not let anyone know you have that money. Not at all. So I don't know why you have a strong. I guess if they let you live at home at all this entire time, you do have somewhat of a duty to your parents. My father's so he has got some savings, disabled. I'm sorry about the future, particularly on my father's retirement goals lifestyle. Your guidance and insights on these matters would be immensely valuable to me. Thank you for your support and understanding. Please let me know how much a price would be for a video. Yeah, so you're you are fine through frugality and savings. You are fine. You're in better shape than most 28-year-olds. You're in better shape than most 48-year-olds. You're technically in better shape than your dad. You need to make it so that your dad does not become dependent upon you after he continues to squander and piss away his money. What concerns me even more is your old man is 60, but your grandfather is still alive. So your dad's going to live, assuming your grandma didn't die too early. Your dad is likely going to live to 80, 85. So that's 20, 25 years of him to either make money and save it or to piss away his inheritance, which is what what I'm afraid is going to happen is your dad is going to take whatever inheritance he gets from his father, he will squander it. Then inevitably, when the money runs out, he's going to come to you. And if he knows about the 300,000, he now has a perfectly moral, ethical, logical argument of like, well, we let you stay here for rent free all this time. He's got you there. But so what you're going to do is you're going to have to talk to your old man and say like, hey, what's your retirement plan here? He's going to retire at 65. He's going to get $1,000 pension, Social Security. I think he's just going to live off your grandfather's inheritance. But yeah, by about the time he's 80, 85, it'll be gone. And then he really can't work. So you're going to have to, well, how are the choices? So you can ask him to get his financial act together and stuff like that. You're going to have to tell him no when the time comes. I'm not taking care of you, but he has the argument that you've been living there the entire time. They could kick you out. And so now you got to live on your own. I know that scares zillennial neats more than anything else is paying for your own apartment. Woo, boogity, boogity, boogity. You got the work ethic, but you don't want to learn any other skills. So you're pigeonholed into this. I'm not even going to try and solve your NEAT problem because you don't want it. You want to live the life of a NEAT. But the day is coming that if your dad does not get his financial act together, you will have to move out on your own. And you will have to support yourself in some way. Now, you can just get a room and get your video games and work as minimal as possible. Keep saving that money, have it saved up, and should grow. Your retirement is taken care of as long as you don't give it to your dad. But you're going to have to sack up one way or another and tell your dad, no, I ain't helping you out, in which case be prepared for you to get kicked out of the home. Or, you're just going to have to pay him and you're going to have to work hard. You probably have to get some kind of skill. But as far as I'm concerned, ethically speaking, no, your parents don't get your support. They don't. Your dad, and now here's another thing. Have you thought about, he's got a McMansion. All right, I think that's a profligate waste, but it's got to be worth something. What's the equity in that? Like, in other words, your dad's financial situation might be better than what you think. And if you're really concerned, please, if you didn't tell me you had this 300,000, I think that's probably the best situation. Don't tell him. But yeah, if you're going to have to talk to him like, hey, what's your finances like? Because I'm not taking care of you. And then be prepared to get kicked out of the house because you lived there forever. You could become an independent man and, get a skill or a trade and go get your own apartment and make more than $15 an hour. But, it's up to you. But yeah, that's the problem living at home. You guys all live at home. Then you kind of do owe your parents. I would say still not if they didn't train you, but yeah. God, and I don't know what are the incels going to do? Like when your the boomer parent and the incel child, like, holy financial planning, Batman. Woo. Yeah, I don't. You're going to have to tell them, I'm not supporting you when you're older, but be prepared to leave. And you have to start looking for an apartment and getting a job. The good news is with that 300,000, you don't have to make that much. You could actually get somewhat of an incel life, but it ain't going to be this incel life where you just never work and never do anything. All right. I got one super chat. Todd Geiger, $2. Thanks. Yeah, no problem. All right. That's it. AssholeConsulting.com. See you guys later. Toodles.